Have you ever wondered what happens when the world's brightest stars try to steal a moment for themselves? Away from the cameras, away from the noise, away from the endless spotlight? Tonight's story captures exactly that. Because what happened between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan wasn't just another sighting. It was a midnight moment, so tender, so protective, that fans are still crying over it. Let's dive in. It was past midnight in the bustling city. The streets were quiet, but not silent. The hum of passing cars, the flicker of neon signs, and the whispers of the night created a strange kind of calm. And in that calm, two figures appeared. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. They weren't supposed to be there. Not together. Not at that hour. But fate has a way of putting two souls in the same place at the same time. The moment was first noticed by a handful of fans. Loyal, sharp-eyed, and always hopeful. At first, people doubted it. Two silhouettes in the dim streetlight. Two shadows walking side by side. But as a car passed by, its headlights revealed their faces for just a second. And there was no mistake. It was them. Wang Yibo, Xiao Zhan. Together. The crowd wasn't large. Just a small group of fans lingering nearby, hoping for a glimpse. A miracle. And suddenly, they got more than they ever expected. Because in that moment, as Xiao Zhan adjusted his cap and lowered his gaze, trying to move quietly without drawing attention, something happened. A flash of light. A phone camera raised. A step too close. And then, Wang Yibo moved. He didn't hesitate. Like instinct, like second nature, he reached out, placing himself between Xiao Zhan and the approaching crowd. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. But it was protective. His body leaned forward, his hand brushing Xiao Zhan's arm, as if to say, "I've got you." The fans watching couldn't believe it. This wasn't just an idol guarding his privacy. This wasn't just a friend shielding another. This was something more. The way Wang Yibo's eyes narrowed, the way his jaw tightened, the way his hand lingered at Xiao Zhan's side. It spoke volumes. And Xiao Zhan's reaction? So subtle, but telling. He didn't resist. He didn't pull away. Instead, he let himself be guided. He let Yibo take the lead. And for a moment, it looked less like two celebrities on a midnight walk, and more like two people who had been protecting each other all along. Whispers spread fast online. Clips, photos, posts filled with trembling captions. Did you see how Yibo shielded him? Look at the way Xiao Zhan trusted him completely. They didn't even need words. Fans described it as a scene straight out of a drama, but more real, more raw, more vulnerable. Later, one fan would write, "People always say stars shine on their own. But sometimes the brightest stars shine because they're protecting each other in the dark." And that night, it felt true. Imagine the weight they carry. The endless cameras, the rumors, the pressure of being adored by millions, but also watched, judged, and criticized by the same millions. And yet, in that fragile midnight hour, all that mattered was one protecting the other. The beauty of the moment wasn't in the grand gesture. It wasn't in words shouted across the street. It was in the simplicity. The way Yibo leaned forward, his body angled to shield. The way Xiao Zhan tilted his head slightly, trusting that he was safe. No drama, no performance, just two souls, walking side by side, holding the night between them. And fans couldn't stop replaying it. One clip in particular went viral. It showed the exact second a fan tried to get too close, and Yibo subtly raised his arm, just enough to block the view of Xiao Zhan's face. The gesture lasted barely 2 seconds. But those 2 seconds were everything. Because in that small act, the world saw something words could never describe. Trust. A bond unshaken. The internet exploded with interpretations. Some said it was friendship. Others said it was loyalty. Many believed it was love. Love that didn't need to be shouted. Love that lived in actions, in protection, in the smallest midnight moments. But let's pause here. Why did this moment move people so deeply? It wasn't just about two famous faces. It was about the humanity behind them. It reminded fans of something we all long for, To have someone who protects us, who stands in front of us when the world feels too heavy, who shields us without asking for anything in return. Wang Yibo did that for Xiao Zhan. And Xiao Zhan allowed himself to be protected. And that balance was beautiful. As dawn approached, the two disappeared into the quiet, leaving behind only whispers, grainy videos, and hearts that couldn't stop racing. But the memory of that night, it wasn't about where they went. It wasn't about why they were there. It was about what happened in that fleeting moment, when one reached out and the other let him. In the days that followed, hashtags trended, fan art flooded timelines, messages poured in from around the world, and a single phrase kept appearing, over and over again, the sweetest way, because that's exactly how it felt. Wang Yibo protected Xiao Zhan in the sweetest way, and maybe that's the truth about them. No matter how the world tries to separate them, no matter how heavy the spotlight becomes, there will always be moments, tight, unspoken midnight moments, where their bond shines brighter than any stage light. So tell me, was it fate that led them down that quiet street together? Was it instinct that made Yibo protect him without hesitation? Or was it something deeper? Something that can't be explained, only felt? What we know for sure is this. Sometimes, the most unforgettable love stories aren't written in grand confessions or shouted across crowded rooms. Sometimes, they're written in the silence of midnight, in the brush of a hand, in the shield of a body, in the trust of a single step. And that's exactly what fans witnessed that night. This was more than a sighting. This was a reminder that in the heart of the night, when the world is watching and yet trying not to see, two people can still protect each other, can still choose each other, can still shine together. Maybe that's the sweetest part of all. Because when the cameras are gone, when the crowds disappear, when the noise fades away, what remains is the way Wang Yibo protected Xiao Zhan, and the way Xiao Zhan let him.